Yo, everything bite sized here. Oi, can anyone get a fucking job writing for Buzzfeed? Because I've actually written articles in the past and been paid for it, like by actually, like reputable, not well known, but reputable people. And Buzzfeed, they just write shit. I know this isn't like a newsflash to anyone, like it's obvious that they're fucking full of shit, but like I've been trying to find like weird stories to make videos about, and some of this bullshit is fucking, it's just so bad, it feels like it warrants a video. So the article is titled, "People are discussing the weirdest and most unexplainable moments in their lives, comma, and I have chills." Who the fuck titles an article like that? Like, and I have chills. Like, you're not supposed to put your personal fucking feelings in the title, you knobhead. Like, you're just it's supposed to be like a factual summary of the article, not like, oh, that'd be like fucking, that'd be like, you're supposed to be unbiased. That'd be like someone writing an article about Trump saying, Trump fell down the stairs, comma, and I shit myself laughing. Like, you can't fucking do that shit. Anyway, they do, because they're BuzzFeed. Right, so this is some bullshit. Like, I swear, like when I look for strange stories on the internet, half of them just seem to be complete bollocks, mate. So this one, on the day before my grandfather's funeral, I got a call from an unknown number. They left a message, so I went to listen. There was a bit of a static, and then a distinct and familiar voice said, "Try to have a good day tomorrow." I hurled my phone across the room and called my dad into the room. I went to grab my phone and show him the message, but it was gone. This is some campfire bullshit. I had been the last person to talk to my grandfather on the phone before he passed. I have to wonder if this was his way of finishing our last conversation. Oh, there's so much wrong with that I don't even know where to start. I'm going to read it again, just in case you didn't catch how much bullshit was there. On the day before my grandfather's funeral, I got a call from an unknown number. They left a message, so I went to listen. There was a bit of static, then a distinct and familiar voice said, "Try to have a good day tomorrow." I hurled my phone across the room and called my dad into the room. I went to grab his phone and show him the message, but it was gone. I had been the last person to talk to my grandfather on the phone before he passed. I have to wonder if this was his way of finishing our last conversation. Well, I have to wonder if you're full of shit, mate. Let's carry on. Why am I telling a bunch of internet strangers one of my most personal and unusual stories? Well, to show the countless others out there in the BuzzFeed community. Is there a BuzzFeed community who have lived through eerie experiences that they're not alone? Thanks for sharing your wild stories with me. Here are the stories that I just couldn't get out of my mind. Oh, I hate it when people say stuff like that. Well, you know when someone's like fucking suffixes, if that's the right word, like end something with, and I just couldn't get them out of my mind. And it just played on my mind all day. You know they're going to be shit. When I was 6, I spent a long weekend at my friend's house in Montana. I slept on the floor of his room in a sleeping bag. One night I sat up covered in sweat and shaking. I was 100% awake. Thanks for clarifying. Then I watched as a Grim Reaper-like figure floated from the shadows to the other side of the room where there was a wall. Yeah, I hallucinate too, bro. It's because I've got bipolar and potentially schizophrenia. Like, it doesn't mean there's an actual fucking ghost there. Like, he oh my word. He peeled back the wall like it was a curtain. You're tripping balls, mate. Either you got fucking spiked with LSD or like, you're fucking crazy like me. He peeled back the wall like it was a curtain. Then I saw my home city at dusk covered in flames and people screaming, yes, acid. He pointed at the city and said, this is how it ends, acid. I ran to the bathroom and stayed there for the rest of the night, acid. No one believes it happened, acid. I went to a funeral and saw the deceased standing next to her own casket in front of the church. Okay, that's just too easy. I'm not even going to touch that. I went to a funeral and saw the deceased standing next to her own casket at the front of the church. Sure you did, mate. Sure you did. That's another, like, you're probably just fucking nuts sort of story. Or you fucking thought it'd be a good idea to take LSD at a fucking funeral. I'm sure there's a movie about that. I can't remember. I think it's British. My aunt used to live in this old house that everyone in the family jokes was haunted. On Christmas, she woke up and went down to the living room to find all the sofa cushions arranged into a cross on the floor. Only she and her husband lived there, and they both swore neither of them did it. Look, I'm not being funny, yeah, but I'm not being funny, but if you're trying to go with some creepy, satanic sort of ghost vibe, I would highly suggest the pattern that the ghost makes on the floor isn't a cross, because like you're kind of like it's like a contradiction. Like you'd expect a pentagram or some shit like that. Like they're just, I don't know, maybe they added that weird detail into, like I don't know, that's some bullshit though. One night when I was around 15, my best friend and I stayed home alone at her house while her parents were away. The house had a long driveway off of the road and was surrounded by woods. It snowed that night, and in the morning when we were leaving, we found footprints that went all the way down the driveway and stopped by the back of the house. There were none leading away. Okay, if that's true, that would fucking creep the fuck out of me, but it seems like it defies the laws of physics. We left immediately and she refused to go back until her parents were home. Nothing was messed with, no windows appeared broken. No, see, like, that's bullshit. Yeah, like, no windows appeared broken. You'd fucking know if a window was broken. It's not, does it appear broken? Is it broken? And nothing was stolen. It was just weird. Yeah, it is weird. It kind of defies the laws of physics, but alright. My younger sister lost the only key to her lockbox. It just vanished. A few months later, we were sitting in my bedroom and we heard what sounded like a piece of metal hitting the floor. We looked around but couldn't see anything. We looked back to where we were sitting and there was the lost key. We told our family about it, but we can't explain it. Okay, so they're trying to I'm guessing they're trying to insinuate that there's a fucking poltergeist. Buzzfeed is shit. Why did I even get into this? It's just so shit. Do you know, when you see something so shocking or shit that it mesmerizes you? That's what's happening to me right now. At almost the exact moment my grandfather died, the large mirror over the staircase at our family cabin cracked down the middle. Since then, several times when my mum and her siblings have discussed their dad, they found or heard breaking glass. Once, every glass on the shelf spontaneously cracked. Another time, all the glasses in the dishwasher broke. They always say my granddad loved living so much and couldn't stand dying so soon, so this was his way of coming back. Yeah, no, I don't believe you. I can't believe I'm still going on with this. About 15 years ago, my younger sister and I were having a movie night in the living room. My parents were asleep and our older sister was out with friends. As we were getting ready to sleep in the living room, we heard a deep and raspy voice. You can't have deep and raspy at the same time. You got to choose one or the other. Trust me, mate. It doesn't work. You can't have deep and raspy. It's either raspy or deep. It's scratch. You can't have a scratchy deep voice. It'd be tinny. It'd be high. Anyway, we heard a deep and raspy voice whisper my name from the room around the corner. Yeah, acid, or you're hallucinating, or both. We both looked at each other, freaked out, and turned off the TV without telling each other what we had just heard. The next morning, I asked her to tell me what she had heard, and she confirmed she heard my name. To this day, we don't know what this is. What it was or why it said my name. See, that's kind of a bit freaky because it's written in a way that's not sensational or bombastic. It's just very plain and to the point, and that makes me believe that that's more likely to be real than other things. And who knows, maybe there was a paranormal incident, or they had a group shared hallucination, which is a thing that happens, or they were on drugs, or they were coming down off of drugs, or they were sleep deprived. Who knows, man? There's so many potentials. I'm not saying, look, I believe in God, yeah, and I also believe in Satan, yeah, and I believe in angels, and I believe in demons. So I know that some weird shit can happen, yeah, trust me. And I've had weird shit happen to me. But that being said, Buzzfeed, do I need to say more? Honestly, so I had a dream. No, this isn't me talking now. I had a dream where I was engaged to a man named Bool, Bool. When I woke up, I thought it was weird, but I went about my day. I had a little weed that evening, and I had the worst panic attack of my life. I went to the hospital, and my doctor was named Dr. Bool. Yeah. Uh, I don't really. I've gotten past the point of trying to believe this shit, to be honest. One time, why am I even fucking reading this? One time, my mum called me to let me know it was time for us to head somewhere. I walked out of my room and saw her out the corner of my eye walking into her room. I followed her, calling her name, and once again caught a glimpse of her, this time walking into her bathroom. I walked into the bathroom. So, who fucking follows their mum into the bathroom? That's bullshit. And no one was there. My blood ran cold. I called out to my mum and she had been downstairs the whole time. You do... No, that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Unless you're some creep, you don't follow your mum into a fucking bathroom. That is some fuckery right there. Like, so I had a ring my mum gave me many years ago. I lost it a few years after she died. I looked everywhere. I was so upset. I finally said, "Please help me, mum. I can't bear to lose this." I had dumped out my jewellery box 4 times already, but I decided to open it one more time. The ring was sitting on top. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything, mate. Like, oh, my phone's going off. Mubby. My beloved dog died a little over a year ago, she was on the East Coast with my boyfriend while I was on a trip to the West Coast. The morning she passed, I learnt the news from a terrible phone call before driving to the airport. I was absolutely hysterical and bawling the whole drive. I was talking, quote unquote, to my girl, telling her I was sorry and that I loved her. It was awful, the deepest despair I've ever felt. Then I saw the license plate of a car passing by. It said, "It's HB. We called our dog HB, short for Harley Bear. I'd like to think that something was sending me a message that she was still out there somewhere and could hear me. Yeah, coincidences do happen, like crazy coincidences. Like, don't mean your pet dog is trying to fucking contact you from the afterlife and like couldn't talk in real life when she was alive, but suddenly she knows how to fucking use the English language, like, and send you fucking typed messages on number plates when it's dead. Anyway, I do feel sorry for the dog dying though, because that sucks. Like my family dog died as I was like a dog I grew up with, and it really cut me up. Anyway, and I do really feel for all these people. If any of these stories are true, I feel really bad for, you know, the deaths, that the real things that happen in them, the deaths. Like, I don't care about the woo-woo shit, like, afterwards, like, where it's supposed to be all, like, crazy and insane. But I do care about the deaths, because I take bereavement seriously. And I mourn some people myself. So, you know, I'm not trying to be too crass or not take these things seriously or trauma seriously, but I just don't believe half of this fucking bullshit, to be honest with you. And that makes me angry, because if they're making up stories and making up that one of their relatives has died, that is fucking abysmal. That is disgusting. If any of these people are like not only bullshitting about what happened, but making up the fact that one of their relatives has died when they haven't, or maybe even worse still, one of their relatives has died and they're adding some bullshit woo-woo story on top of it for Buzzfeed. Mate, fucking Buzzfeed community, like, seriously, like what the fuck? My mother lost her wedding ring a few years back after she and my dad married. They tore the house apart and never found it. Eventually they moved away and she got a new ring. A year or so afterwards, my dad's mother died. A few days after the funeral, my dad was away and mum fell asleep on the couch. She opened her eyes and saw her old wedding ring on the arm of the sofa. Oh, that's a bit weird if that's true. That's fucking strange, mate. No one had been in the house except her, and it had definitely not been there when she dozed off. My mum isn't religious, but she's convinced her mother-in-law found it for her. Yeah, I'm not really convinced, to be honest. Should I even carry on? There's fucking loads of these bullshit stories. Fuck it, man. Let's get through it. There's fucking loads of this bullshit. It's all bullshit. I knew it was going to be bullshit before I even fucking opened the article. And then I knew this video was going to be bullshit. And then I knew my commentary was going to be bullshit. And I knew I was going to be saying that this is bullshit, like, right now. And I'm just transfixed like a fucking car crash. Let me just have a vape quickly and check who messaged me. Yeah, okay, so let's carry on reading some more of this bullshit. They've got this really nice vape juice. It's called, what's it called? Some sort of cake. Ice cream cake. Oh, I'll tell you what, it is beautiful, mate. Right, okay. So, back to the article. If you can call it a fucking article, it's a fucking shambles. It's nothing near an article. Let's be honest. It's not even. It's shit fiction. That's what it is. When I was in school, whenever someone died in one of my dreams, they wouldn't be at school the next day. Sometimes they were sick, or a few times they were just very late to the class I had with them. But it was freaky. One time I even texted a friend who lived in another state to ask if they'd gone to school that day because they had died in my dream. They had, in fact, not gone to school. Bullshit. My weird thing is seeing praying mantises. Whenever I see one, or is mantises a word or is it mantees? I don't know. Like, either way, I wouldn't trust Buzzfeed as far as I could fucking throw him. My weird thing is seeing praying mantises. Whenever I see one, something either majorly inconvenient or exciting is about to happen. Usually I see them outside my apartment, but occasionally they show up near where the quote-unquote event is going to take place. One time I saw one just sitting on my tyre as I was leaving work. A day later I went to my car and found a flat tyre. Yeah, shit happens, bro. Like, shit happens. My boyfriend and I went shopping at this small boutique in a strip mall. We went in. What is a fucking strip mall, by the way? Like, I've always wondered that. I've heard that expression in a lot of American popular culture, and I've no idea what it fucking means. My boyfriend, no, I'm gonna find out. What is a fucking strip mall? I'm not even gonna put the fucking in it, because I'm sure loads of British people have searched it in frustration like me. A strip of businesses like fast food and 24-hour gyms and stuff like that in a smaller area outside. Mall. Big fucking building with business. Oh, I don't even know. I don't care that much to really find out. So, my boyfriend and I went shopping at this small boutique in the strip mall. We went in, got our stuff and left, which took about half an hour. When we checked our watches, 4 hours had passed. To this day, neither of us can explain it. It was the middle of the day. We weren't drunk or high, just shopping at a very small store in a strip mall. Sounds like acid again. When my dad was around 9, he had a pet salamander. That's creative. He had a pet salamander that he found out by the lake. One night, his older sister, quote unquote, my aunt, yeah, thanks for clarifying that, had a dream that she ate the salamander. When they woke up the next morning, the salamander was gone. They never found it or figured out what happened to it. We still wonder to this day if my aunt actually ate the salamander. That actually sounds kind of so weird that there might be some truth in it. I just don't know. Like, I don't know anymore. I don't know what's up, what's down, what's left, what's right, what's wet, what's dry. Like, this article has melted my brain in a bad way. It's like I'm in a never-ending hellish hellscape acid trip just on fucking Buzzfeed, and now I'm in it. I can't stop until it's finished, and like I've just got to ride it through like a bad fucking trip. Alright, so let's just fucking dive through this because I'm getting sick of it already. I was driving to work one morning when a school bus suddenly overtook another parked bus and came straight for me with no possibility of stopping in time. I was terrified and closed my eyes expecting it to hit a car. But when I opened them again, I was about half a mile up the road. There was no possible way that the bus could have managed to stop in time before hitting me. So to this day, I still cannot explain what happened and how I ended up further up the road. Yeah, I think people, like, if this guy has actually experienced this, and a lot of these other people have experienced these issues, yeah, like, let's call them issues, because they've got issues, let's be frank. Like, I think they're underestimating the power of the brain, and maybe the power of the LSD they're taking, because seriously, like, weird shit happens, man. Let alone fucking real things that happen in the world, coincidences. There's so many people on this planet, and there's so many actions and thoughts and events happening all at the same time, like, that throughout history you're gonna get some strange shit happen. It doesn't mean that, like, your fucking dead nan is fucking trying to contact you using fucking Cheerios on the fucking table. Like, fucking chill out, man. Right, so a few years ago, I lost the necklace and tore my house up looking for it. I finally gave up, and about 6 months later, I found it under my pillow one morning. It was like the tooth fairy left it for me. I had washed the sheets many times since losing the necklace, and it was a heavy pendant, so it was not something that would easily go unnoticed in the wash. I still have no idea how it ended up there. See, there's a pattern happening here with people talking about fucking jewelry, like turning up in random places and shit like that. Like, it seems to be like what they go to make up a story. Anyway, so I have a habit of reading books before bed. One night I finished reading, set my book on the nightstand and put my glasses on like I always do. The next morning the glasses were gone. I knew I'd had them because my vision is too bad to read without them. At the time I didn't have a backup pair, so the next day my parents came and helped me look all over the apartment, but they were gone. So they took me to get a new pair. Months later I went through the same nighttime routine, and when I woke up in the morning, both pairs of glasses were sitting on top of the book I was reading. I'm getting sick of this. My grandmother was... Oh, okay, so I feel bad for saying I'm getting sick of this, because now the next thing says, my grandmother was very sick and dying. Please don't be making this shit up, because to say shit like that, like for a fucking fake anecdote, would be really, really despicable. My grandmother was very... I'm such a cynic. I'm sorry, guys, but like, it's fucking Buzzfeed. I'm cynical at the best of times, let alone when... Why am I even fucking reading this shit? My grandmother was very sick and dying. For a few weeks leading up to her death, she would stare off into space and talk to dead relatives. Oh, that's so sad, man. I've heard of that happening with Alzheimer's. She'd say things like, "I'll see you soon, Alice," or "I'm coming soon, Mabel." She would always name previously deceased relatives. Then one day, she started talking to her brother, Henry. We thought it was weird because Henry was still alive. We got a call the next day that Henry had died the previous day. I'm not going to touch that one, just in case it's fucking true, like, because I don't want to rip that apart, like, but, you know, I'm very skeptical. Anyway, finally, I've had sleep paralysis a few times, but I've had sleep paralysis, and it is the scariest shit ever, I swear. I'm not going to go into details of some of the things that have happened to me in sleep paralysis, but I have been assaulted, I'll put it that way. Finally, I've had sleep paralysis a few times, but one specific time I was able to open... When I say assaulted, I don't mean by someone in real life. I meant like, you know, like assaulted by like demons in the sleep paralysis dream or something like that. I just thought I'd clarify. I don't mean that I was paralyzed in my sleep and someone then came and literally assaulted me, but I mean like... I'm guessing it, like, you know, like, it's still bad getting assaulted by like imaginary things. But yeah, I've had an acid trip where I got assaulted as well, which was really bad, like, but anyway, I digress. Finally, I've had sleep paralysis, I've had sleep paralysis a few times, but one specific time I was able to open my eyes. I could stare at the ceiling, but I couldn't move my body. I heard a voice say, "Relax." I was so freaked out after that. Of course, I lived alone too. Yeah, that's just fucking trippy sleep paralysis shit. Wait till you get fucking assaulted like I did in my sleep paralysis multiple times, and then come back to me. You had someone saying relax and calming you down. I had the fucking opposite of that, mate. Like the complete polar opposite of that. What is it? That is so doesn't fit in with this article. I'm gonna read that again. Finally, quote, I've had that sleep paralysis a few times, but one specific time I was able to open my eyes. I could stare at the ceiling, but I couldn't move my body. I heard a voice say, "Relax." I was so freaked out after that. Of course, I lived alone too. And they've put some shitty GIF attached to it, or GIF, or whatever you want to call it. I feel like I'm giving myself... I feel dirtier after reading all that shit. Like, I don't feel right. Like, I feel a bit sick. I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't even feel like I can fairly ask you guys to check out my other videos and shit and subscribe after that. I'm just gonna post this shit anyway. Peace.